Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Merc, and today we've got NPL Season 6, Week 7, and this is going to be a pretty big match. This is against our good buddy Togevoir, or Chris, and we all know Chris. We all like Chris. Chris is a really nice guy, but there's some things that you know about Chris that everybody knows. First off, he's not the best battler in the world. He's kind of a scrub, if you ask me. I mean, he's been around it for a long time, but he's just not that good. He doesn't get the memo of it, so he's having a pretty rough season. And just because we're friends, I know that he's going to want to take out some of that aggression off on me. You know, he's 1-5, got a pretty bad differential, so he is definitely going to look to have a breakout game. You know, he's got a pretty busted squad, and that's the second thing, or the third thing, is that he is actually a team stealer, and that's kind of a problem with him. He's kind of a kleptomaniac. That probably goes along with the fact that he's a vegan. You know, you can never trust those guys. But he's a team stealer from my GPC Season 5 team, and you know that squad. You know it's the most lordly squad on Earth. You've got the Clefable, Venusaur, Gastrodon core with the Lucario and the Thunderous T offense, and the Sneasel and all that. But look at his team. He's got that Clefable on the bench. He's got a Mega Venusaur. Well, I mean, excuse me, what the fuck? Who just steals a man's team? Then he's got that Weavile. It's just a big Sneasel. It's a big worse Sneasel. You know, you're sacrificing your top picks. He could have picked up something good instead of that, but now he's just going to pick up that. And then you've got the two gods, the two offensive lords from that team, that Lucario and that Thunderous Therian. Then he's got the bad ripoff of the steel type of a Scavalier with that Bronzong. I mean, he's got a dragon. I didn't have a dragon, so that's kind of one of the flaws in the teams, that he didn't properly rip it. And one of the biggest problems, one of the biggest issues about the team was that he picked up, instead of getting Gastrodon, which we know Gastrodon is the greatest Pokemon on that team. That was the Mon that won me the championship game every single time. That's the only Mon that could have possibly gotten a Spadef drop on a Power Up Punch Miltank. But no, he didn't pick that up. Instead, he got two lesser options instead of that. He got a Tentacruel. I mean, what the fuck's a Tentacruel, man? It's a fucking jellyfish squid monster? What does that do? You don't click Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin is not a move that you should ever click. And he picked up that Mon just to do that. We did that with Donphan. And you know what we didn't do with Donphan? We didn't click Rapid Spin. And he has a Mon that's dedicated Rapid Spin that has the same type as Gastrodon in that water. And then he has the nerve. So we've already got this bulky water type. He's got the nerve to go ahead and pick up a Seismitoad, the same exact type as Gastrodon. And you know what? Something about Seismitoad? There's another guy who picked up Seismitoad, and a guy who got pretty darn close, really, really close to winning a league title. And that's Shoddy. And you know what happened when Shoddy had a Seismitoad in the PPL, and he's claiming to this day that it's still better than Gastrodon. You know what happened? Dual Screen Latios happened into a double dancing Thunderous Incarnate. So that's some pretty big fucking problems with that team. And second of all, I don't even know what point I'm on now. Anyways, he ripped my team from the GPC, and we all know that that's a pretty rough team to ride, and you know that you have to have at least one championship under your belt if you want to use that team properly. So I don't know what Chris was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking, but he went for it, and it's just not working out for him. So we're going to give him the lizard tail. We've got plenty of tails to slap him with, and we're just going to show him why you don't steal a man's team. Week 1, Zazo, he showed me that you can't steal a man's team. I missed a Stone Edge versus him, and that lost me the game, because I stole his double Wish Pass with that Jirachi and that Licky, you know? And I'm going to show Chris the exact same thing. You cannot steal a man's championship team. You just don't do it. It's unethical. It's unheard of. It's just not something that you do as a good human being. So with that all being said, let's talk about how this is going to go down. So let's look at his team. He's got the Weavile. It's pretty scary, but Weavile ain't shit because I got Fizz Def Klefki. Nothing a Weavile can do can possibly touch a Klefki unless he goes into some gimmick ass shit that's not gonna work, because I'll see it coming. Then he's got a Clef, that nice Gloomon, that nice fairy pink. You know, it's a good mon. It sets up every week. That's what it does. Chris loves to set up. whatever kind of setup he has, whatever thing that Clef's going to do, I can take care of it. I got the Klefki to check it. I've got lots of offense. I got that nice Jirachi to hit it right in the forehead. You know, that thing is not a problem. Then we got the Lucario and the Thundurus. Those, albeit, are spooky mons. They got a lot of kills for me, and they've gotten a lot of kills for him. However, I'm not afraid, because I can deal with them as well. We got a Choppleberry Crook, and not only is it Choppleberry, it's thick. It's the thickest mon on Earth, and it can take any hit from either of those mons and give it a nice slap in the ass and just take away all of their respect so that I can knock him out. Then he's got that Bronzong. I knew Bronzong was coming. I can take advantage of a Bronzong. Do you see 2 dark types on my team? I think you see 2 dark types on my team. I think they can take advantage of that fucking Bronzong easily. And then a Haxorus. Dragons are ass. Dragon Dance is ass. Bad Pokemon. I can easily deal with that. Pretty much my whole team outspeeds it. Crook can take a hit from it. Klefki can hit it with a Dazzling Gleam, or I can T-Wave it. Though I know in the bottom of my heart, in the heart of hearts, that thing's going to be a Lumberry. And if I can get rid of that Lumberry, that's an EZT wave, and then it's gone. So let's talk about my team. We got a Scarf Jirachi. Look at all those things just primed and ready to get flinched. Ooh boy. Then we got a Choice Specs Gren. Look at his water resist. His water resist is a Haxorus. You know what Haxorus takes from a Specs Hydro Pump? A whole fucking lot of damage. And then, you know what else we've got? We got a Swellow. And this isn't just any normal Choice Specs Swellow. Nah, we've got an Adamant Gut set. Because what is his switch in? He's got one, that Bronzong. And what 2 mons take advantage of Bronzong? That Choice Specs Gren and my oh my god, I ruined it. And a physical attacking Crook. This isn't no nasty passing to special Crook. This is a max attack set, primed and ready to blow that thing away. It can get rocks up. It can taunt things. You know, I don't want to deal with any Calm Mind bullshit from his Clefable. I don't want to deal with any kind of Rest Colberry bullshit from his Bronzong. I don't want to get set up on with a Lucario. I don't want to get set up on by a Haxorus. I ain't having none of that shit, so I have Taunt, and that's going to stop him dead in his tracks. Then we got that Klefki. Klefki, the hard counter to Weavile. It also checks Lucario. Nothing it does can kill me. It can take a hit from the Thundurus, and we've got the text for days to be able to take advantage of that so that we can pick it off later, even if it does try and set up. And the Haxorus. We're doing a shit ton with Dazzling Gleam and putting it in range of our Choice Scarf Jirachi. We've got the nice quick attack on Swellow, and we've got the nice Choice Specs Water Shuriken in the back with Gren that can easily clean up. And lastly, I haven't even gone over the best threat to his team, the biggest, most scary threat to his team, and that's Terrakion. And do you see a Terrakion switching? Do you see a Pokemon on his team that can take 2 close combats, can take 2 Stone Edges, can take a close combat and a Stone Edge? I don't think so. If spikes are up, everything's dying. If it's Underwear Clef, it's dying. If it's not SD, gone. +2 Stone Edge, goodbye. Everything is dropping to this man. It doesn't matter what items he has on his mons, they are fucking eating the dirt when Tarak hits the field. So that's my team. I know I'm going to toss him. Also, he doesn't have that shitty ass Tentacruel. I knew he wouldn't do it. I know he doesn't like Rapid Spin. I know he doesn't like Tentacruel. So I'm spiking this man. I am hazard stacking the shit out of him turn 1. And that's what we're doing. We lead off with the keys. And he's leading off with this Clef. I don't give a fuck what Clef does to me. He encores. I don't care. I've got switch-ins. I know you're going to try and set up. I'm going into my Swellow. And I see the Reflect. And I'm like, oh boy. I know that what's coming next. I know that he knows that he thinks what he knows, but he doesn't know that when you team rip from a man and you play the man whose team you ripped, you are going to get it. So he's going to make the biggest choke of his life here and not predict that Swellow is going to throw out the meatiest facade of its life and straight kill the shit out of that Clef. Goodbye. Male Ophelia, I don't know what kind of gender bender Chris is, but Shakespeare is some fucking weeb ass shit if I've ever seen it. Clef's gone. Goodbye. Easy. If he knew what was coming for him, he should have just gone into the Bronzong. That was obviously a choke, and Bronzong would have taken, it would have taken a lot, but it's not getting straight fucking O-code. But the Clef's gone, and that's good riddance, because I don't want to deal with that bullshit. As Bronzong's here, and I don't care what a Bronzong does, it's no threat to my team. I can U-turn, get the initiative, scout the damage. That looks like it's Fizz Def. Okay, so let's go out into our Crook. Does Crook care about anything a Bronzong does? No, not really. Not at all. Not one single bit. Stealth Rocks are up. That's fine. I'm getting my own Stealth Rocks up. Look at all these rock weaknesses. Look at all of these hazard weaknesses. Weavile taking 25 from the rocks, taking 12 from the spikes. Thunderous taking 25 from the rocks. Lucario taking those 12 from the spikes, 6 from the rocks. Haxorus taking a combined 24%. Bronzong not taking much, but you see, we saw no lefties. So that's getting the chip, and we've got those nice strong dark types to punish that Bronzong every time it comes in. And I know that Lucario has the Justified, but do I care? No, not really, not at all. So he goes into the Weavile, and I'm just going to lay those rocks up. So now we've got the Hazard War 1, basically. We can't get rid of those rocks, but we don't give a shit. Our team's not rocks weak. Not a single Mon on my team takes super effective damage, aside from my Swellow. And Swellow's in here to come in and just OHKO his whole team without taking damage. That's what a Swellow does. So these rocks, they basically don't exist on my side of the field. So we're going into Klefki, because Klefki is the dedicated answer to Weavile, because I knew this Mon was a threat. And we see Ice Punch. Now what does Ice Punch tell me? 1, he's not Life Orb. 2, he's not Choice Band. 3, he's not any kind of boosting item. He's just a shitty ass Ice Punch, and I don't know what he's doing with that. So we're just going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. I don't want him subbing up on me. I don't want him Swords Dancing. I know he could be Natural Gift Fire. I saw it before, and I'm not afraid of it. So he goes into the Bronzong. Big whoop. I have a free ass switch into Gren, and Gren can take a life once it's in on the field. So we take those rocks, no big deal. And then we see it. We see his master plan. He's got dual screens Clef. He's got dual screens Bronzong, because I don't bring Defog. That's smart, but it doesn't save you from crits, and it's not going to save you from what Gren can do to you. So here, I have to think. This is the first time I have to think in this game, because the rest is just autopilot, easy winning, just lizard slapping his whole team around. But here, I know that I have to lock myself into a move. Nothing I have can kill this Bronzong behind that light screen, not even the Choice Specs Dark Pulse. And I know this. However, I know that he's got 2 prime setup mons that can take advantage of either of my stabs that I go into. If I go into Lucario, it's going to be getting that Justified boost, but if I go for the Hydro Pump, then his Haxorus gets the setup for free. And with these screens up, my priority can't do enough to it, and my team just can't get enough chip damage off on it where I'm comfortable for a Haxorus coming in for essentially free, and I can deal with Lucario. So in the end, I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse, and he's going to go into his Lucario. So if I went for the Hydro here, this thing would have been in a shallow grave. However, his Haxorus would have been able to come in, and that's a problem. So we give this thing a Justified boost. But you know what? I'm not scared, because what I see is that Reflect is about to go out. He is in range of a hit from my Choice Scarf Jirachi. And I do have this Mon called Crook, and it does have this ability called Intimidate, which has the 100% chance to lower your attack. So we're going to go into Crook. Crook, the fighting resist, because Crocodile does not give a shit. And what does he go for? He goes for the agility. And also, Hamlet is the girl, and Ophelia is the man. That's some fucking wild ass shit. I don't know what kind of yaoi he's reading, but he's getting way too into the Shakespeare weeaboo aisle at the library. So after I see this agility, I know I'm eating the shit out of any hit, and I'm clicking EQ. He's gonna pop my chop, and I'm just gonna take the close combat and go for the EQ. And do you see Lucario? Because I don't. It's gone. I do not see it in sight. So biggest threat to my team, one of the biggest threats to my team, it's gone. Now he's got this Weavile, and once again, it's taking that damage. Look at that. It started up there, it's all the way down there. I haven't even hit it yet, and it's taken all this damage. And you know what I have that can easily switch into a Weavile? That's right, a Fizdef Klefki, and we're going to save our Crook because we know it's still useful. We know Intimidate's great ability, especially for a team that's trying to set up everywhere. So he's just going to go for the Ice Punch. He gets a crit. Doesn't even matter. That shit bounces off Klefki because Klefki is hard. It's got keys of steel, you know, and he's gonna go for the knockoff. He knows that his Weavile is not doing shit. He knows that if I try and double around, he's going to be the benefactor of that. But I know that by clicking Dazzling Gleam, I'm putting this thing in range to die from hazards, and also it's wearing out turns of screens, and once that screen's gone, Greninja murders his whole team, baby. Oh yeah, everything dies once hazards are up and screens are gone. So he's just gonna go ahead, go for some scrub ass freezing plays, but that's not gonna happen because Klefki does not give a shit. It's A1 since day one, and Weavile is indeed boo-boo. So now it's 6 versus 3. We are looking good, and this Bronzong's coming in, and I know what's going to happen right here. I know that a Reflect's coming my way, so what I'm going to do is go hard into Crook, because I also know that Light Screen's gone. And now that Light Screen is gone as Reflect goes up, I don't have to worry about his team because Greninja kills everything. And how am I not going to worry about it? I can't kill this thing. But you know what I have? Taunt. And there goes the Bronzong. He tries to lay up that Light Screen, and it's just not gonna work. I get a free ass knockoff right here, get free ass damage on his team, and just putting his whole team in range of my Greninja. So this thing's gonna come in. It's taking that nice 24. It's taking another 33%. Get rid of that Lum. I can paralyze it now if I want to. And I don't need to switch out. I don't need to choke. I'm not about the choke life. I can easily just click EQ, and this thing's it's not dying, but it's taken enough to the point where I can knock it out with my Choice Scarf Jirachi. So Crook goes down, but Crook did its job. Got those rocks up. It got the damage off. It took out the Lucario, and it taunted the Bronzong. Everything I needed to the point where I can just kill this thing with a U-turn. The crit! Didn't even matter, but it felt good, damn it. So now I knock out his thing, and he has 2 Mons that are dying to a Choice Specs Dark Pulse. If his Thundy is Assault Vest, it can live it. If I get an absolute min roll, he can live it, but it doesn't matter because all I need to do is click Dark Pulse and the game ends because I've got Swallow in the back, which can pick off any sort of Thundy with a quick attack afterwards. Even if he tries to agility up or anything like that, I can even try and save Greninja and go for the Water Shuriken. He's going to go into Thundurus. I have a very good chance to kill it with Dark Pulse, but he's going to bank on a choke. I don't know what choke he was banking on, but I do not choke. I never choked in my entire life, and that's going to show here as I just click Dark Pulse. I don't give a fuck what that thing does. If he was Choice Scarfed, I don't care. I can just get damage off on it, and now that he's taken even more damage, I can easily click Dark Pulse here. And because he didn't click Volt Switch, he's not Choice Scarfed, and I can just knock this thing out and get a nice 5-0 ass clap on Chris. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a nice easy game for me. Nice keeping that differential high, getting some nice points, free wins, easy money, easy life. See you guys later. Bye.